Okay, so good evening and hi everyone. Today we will continue our eighth discussion, which is we will talk and discuss about freedom fighter, national heroes in freedom fighter categories. So the first pair can start your presentation.
All right. Hello, everyone. And today I want to share the story of a significant figure in Malaysian history, Dato Maharaja Lela, a name that symbolizes courage and resistance against colonial oppression. Born in the 19th century in Pasir Salak, Perak, he was a respected nobleman and leader in his
Uh,
community.
Irfan, sorry, you ada Tok Maharaja there, this one or this one?
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah,
Oh. Mm,
it's the second one.
second one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, sorry. Okay, you can
All right.
continue.
Okay. During that era, the Malay states were facing increasing interference from British colonial powers who sought to impose their influence over local governance and resources. This interference escalated with the signing of the Pangkor Treaty of 1874, which established British control in Perak. Under this treaty, J.W.W. Birch was appointed as the first British resident of Perak. Birch's administration, however, was marked by arrogance and disregard for local customs. His policies, such as abolishing the traditional Malay system of tax collection and his lack of cultural sensitivity, fueled a widespread resentment among the Malays. Datuk Maharaja Lela, deeply committed to protecting the sovereignty and dignity of his people, became one of the key figures leading the resistance against British domination. His resolve culminated in the assassination of Birch in 1875, a bold act that symbolizes defiance against foreign rule. I'll pass to Russ to continue.
Okay, so although sadly later on the British suppressed the uprising and Dato Maharaja Lela was later captured and executed, his actions became a powerful symbol of Malay resistance and patriotism. He is celebrated as a national hero in Malaysia for his courage and unwavering commitment to defend Malay sovereignty and cultural identity. So, his story is taught in Malaysian history as a reminder of the struggles against foreign domination, inspiring pride and unity among Malaysians. That's all from us.
Okay, now I'm the next talking about our tribute to Tunku, our national heroes, freedom fighter. I'm going to tribute to Tunku Abdul Rahman, the father of independence. So, today we gather to remember and celebrate a man whose vision, determination, and courage paved the way. Oh, I'll wait for the Tunku Abdul Rahman. Okay. 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 So I'll start now. Maybe. Okay, today we gathered to remember and celebrate a man whose vision, determination, and courage paved the way for the birth of our beloved nation, Tunku Abdul Rahman, the father of independence, or as we fondly call him, Bapa Kemerdekaan. So he was born on the 8th of February 1903 in Alostar, Kedah. Tunku Abdul Rahman hailed from a royal family, yet his heart beat with the aspirations of ordinary Malaysians. He was not just a prince of Kedah, but a servant of the people, dedicated to the idea of freedom, unity, and progress. So Tunku's journey to greatness was not without challenges. Educated at Cambridge University, he faced setbacks in his studies but never allowed failure to define him. Instead, he returned stronger with a vision to lead Malaya of independence. His determination and resilience became the hallmark of his leadership. In 1951, Tunku took the helm of United Malays National Organization, which is UMNO. Under his guidance, UMNO grew up from a party of Malays into a cornerstone of a greater vision, the Alliance Party, uniting Malays, Chinese, and Indians under one banner. Tunku believed deeply in the power of unity, knowing that the strength of Malaya lay in the harmony of its people. So I think I'll need to pass to Tarani to continue.
Okay, so taking from where Canberra said, as the leader of the independence movement, Tunku Abdul Rahman chose diplomacy over conflict. In 1956, he led a delegation to London to negotiate Malaya's freedom. Armed not with weapons but with wisdom, he persuaded the British to recognize our right to self-rule. And on the historic morning of August 31, 1957, at the Merdeka Stadium, Tunku raised his voice in a cry that still resonates in our hearts: Merdeka, Merdeka, Merdeka. With those words, he gave birth to a nation built on hope, mutual respect, and determination. Tunku's leadership did not end with independence. As our first Prime Minister, he laid the foundation of modern Malaysia, promoting education and economic growth and international peace. His vision extended beyond our borders, making Malaysia a respected member of the global community. So, guys, as we reflect on Tunku's legacy, let us remember that the independence we cherish today is not just a gift, but a responsibility. It is called to uphold the ideals of unity, justice, and progress that he stood for. So that's all about my presentation. Now I'll be handing over the presentation to the next pair.
So me and Vasuntra will continue our presentation about Rentap. So good evening everyone. Today we're going to take you on a journey back in time to meet one of Sarawak's most iconic heroes, which is a man whose legacy still inspires Malaysian today. His name is Rentap.
Rantap, also known as Libau, was a legendary Iban warrior who fought fiercely against British colonization during the reign of the White Rajas of Sarawak. His name Rantap translates to world shaker and he definitely lived up to it. But he wasn't just a fighter. Rantap was a leader, a strategist, and a symbol of resistance for his people. Today, we'll explore his story, his contributions, and why he remains a celebrated figure in Malaysian history.
Let's start with some context. During the mid 1800th century, Sarawak was under the control of James Brooke, the first White Raja. Brooke sought to impose new laws on the Iban community, including banning the traditional Iban custom like head hunting and controlling their trade routes. This didn't sit well with the Iban people, especially Rentap. And that's where the story gets intense.
In 1844, Rentap launched a daring attack on Brooke's fort at Nangaskram. With his warriors, he successfully overran the British forces stationed there. This victory sent a clear message. The Iban people will not be subdued without a fight. But the British didn't take it lightly. They retaliated with greater force, burning Iban villages and pushing Rentap's people into retreat. But Rentap was not done yet.
That's right. Rentap regrouped and built a fortress on Bukit Sadok, a stronghold that would become a symbol of Iban resistance. From this hilltop fortress, Rentap launched his resistance campaign. The fort was so well defended that it took multiple British attempts to capture it. Imagine being in the fortress, surrounded by dense jungle with your people standing strong against cannon fire. The British forces led by Charles Brooke brought in cannons and thousands of soldiers, but for years they couldn't break through.
But as we all know, no fortress lasts forever. In 1861, after a long and brutal siege, Bukit Sadok finally fell. Rantap, however, escaped into the jungle. Despite being on the run, his name remained a powerful symbol of resistance. He never surrendered and he passed away in 1863, still a free man.
And here's why Rentap's story still matters. He battle cry agi hidup agi ngelaban, which means while I live, I fight. Lives on the official motto of Malaysia's Royal Ranger Regiment. This motto embodies bravery, resilience, and unyielding spirit, values that are timeless. Rentap isn't just a Sawarikin hero, he's a national hero, remembered for his defiance against colonial rule and his commitment to freedom.
Today, Rentap is honored not just in Sarawak but across the whole Malaysia. His legacy is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage and unity can inspire generations. His story live on in history books, movies, and even military traditions.
So next time you hear the phrase "agi hidup agi ngelaban," remember that it's not just words. It's a promise to preserve, just like Rentap did. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you leave today feeling just a little more inspired by this incredible warrior legacy. Thank you very much.
Next, Iza and I will present about Tok Janggut. Muhammad Hassan bin Munis, or known as Tok Janggut, because of his long white beard, was a peasant farmer and an itinerant rice trader in the southernmost district of Kelantan, a state that came under British control in 1909. Tok Janggut was a Malay leader of a peasant rebellion in Malaya in 1915, directed against British colonial rule. Among the effects of colonial rule were displacement of the independent powers of district territorial shift and the introduction of new and unwelcome forms of land taxation. As a former and loyal follower of the Pasir Putih shift, Tok Janggut was affected by both measures. In April 1915, he organized first attack boycott and then an armed rising of almost 2,000 farmers designed to expel the British. Troops had to be brought in from Singapore to quell the rising, which lasted for a month. Though there was no great loss of life, Tok Janggut died in the final attack on his stronghold, and his name continues to live as that of an early hero in the anti-colonialist struggle. Next, I will pass to Iza.
Okay, thank you, Nabila, for the introduction of the Janggut. So I will continue about Tok Janggut contributions and what he have done for during his life. So Tok Janggut is the best known for leading the 1915 uprising in Pasir Putih, Kelantan, because he against the British colonial rule. So he strongly opposed the British imposed land taxes, which heavily burdened local farmers and disrupted their livelihoods. Tok Janggut viewed these taxes as unjust and a threat to the local economy and way of life. So he took bold action by declaring Pasir Putih independent from British control, exerting the areas and its Islamic governance. Tok Janggut mobilized the local community, leading a rebellion against the British forces. So his leadership and charisma inspired the people of Kelantan to fight back against the colonial exploitation. So what Tok Janggut have done, he directly engaged the British troops in a series of battles to defend Pasir Putih. Despite being outnumbered, his resistance was fierce and courageous. Unfortunately, he was killed in battle on May 25, 1915, and the British displayed his body publicly in Kota Baru to discourage further rebellion. However, his death only cemented his legacy as a hero. So Tok Janggut's action have soon become a symbol of courage and resistance against oppressions. So while his uprising was suppressed, his fight inspired further movements in Malaysia's struggle for independence and remains a significant part of the nation's history. This is how he publicly his body, his dead body publicly being exposed by the British in Kota Baru. So that's all from me and Nabila. The next pair can continue.
Okay, I this to talk about Makilau Imaratu, which is known as he is a legendary figure in Malaysian history known for his resistance against British colonial rule in Pahang in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He was born around 1860 in Kampung Pulau Tawau, Serentuk, Pahang. Mat Kilo was deeply influenced by his father, Imam Rasul, who was also known as Gajah, prominent figure in Pahang. He was educated in Islamic studies and in traditional Malay martial arts. Mat Kilau joined forces with his father and other Malay warriors such as Datuk Bahaman and Tok Janggut to resist British expansion and control over Pahang. The resistance is particularly noted during the Pahang Uprising, which is in 1891 and 1895, where they engaged in guerrilla warfare against the British force. After several confrontation with the British, Mat Kilau fate became a mystery for many years. Many believe he was killed, but he reappeared in 1969, revealing his identity and recounting his experience. His experience caused a significant stir in Malaysia, and he lived until 1970. Mat Kilau is celebrated as a symbol of Malay resistance and patriotism. His history has inspired various cultural works, including books, film, and songs that honor his bravery and dedication to his homeland. Mat Kilau legacy remains an essential part of Malaysian history, representing the spirit of resistance and fight for independence. That's all from me. Thank you.
Freedom fighter Mat Kilau. Mat Kilau was a legendary warrior who fought against British colonial rule in Malaysia. He led a resistance movement in the late 19th century, protecting the rights of his people in Pahang. Using guerrilla warfare tactics, he and his followers attacked British force and defended their land. His fight for freedom made him a symbol of resistance and national pride. For many years, people thought he had died, but in 1969, he revealed his true identity. His story reminds Malaysians of the importance of courage and standing up for their rights.
Okay, guys, so based on what we have discussed, what do you just think about the freedom fighter?
Okay, so I still stand with mine and Kenway's opinion that Tunku Abdul Rahman is one of the best freedom fighter. Not to say that we don't respect any of the other candidates, other presentation, but we feel that we are now in a peaceful country and our lives are very peaceful because of the contribution and sacrifice of what he has done in the past. That's why he's also known as the father of the independence. So everyone agree with me? Or if you have any disagreement, you can just
Yeah,
say
I
it
do
out.
agree with Mr. Tarani. So because he's our father of independence, right? So without him, we won't have our Malaysia today. As he united all of our different race, multiracial, into UMNO, an alliance party. Yeah. So I do agree with Tarani.
Yeah, some may argue that other fighters such as Mat Kilau or Datuk Mahathir Dela show greater bravery by taking out armies and facing death, right? However, while their acts of courage are undeniable, their rebellions were not as effective in achieving lasting independence. While their sacrifices were symbolic, they did not result in the same concrete and peaceful lasting outcome like Tunku Abdul Rahman leadership. So I do agree with both of you guys.
And for my opinion, I think I can choose. I can choose only one person, but I choose all of them because they are fighter for their own state. Because they come from the different state, right? Like Pahang for Mat Kilau, Mat Rentak from Sarawak, and they protect their own state from the colonized.
But Tunku Abdul Rahman represent all Malaysian, not just um, one single state like Pahang, Sarawak. He represent Malaysian as a whole, which shows he's the best candidate for the hero, most influential Malaysian hero. Yeah,
If I had to choose, then I'll also say Tunku Abdul Rahman, because he he was able to unify the diverse ethnic groups in Malaysia, particularly the Malays, Chinese, Indians. He was a strong advocate for racial harmony and believed in fostering a sense of national unity despite the country's diverse population. That's probably one of the reasons why I think he's the best candidate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you
best.
guys.
Okay.
Sorry, Iza, do you want to go first?
It's okay. You can go first.
Okay, so while others they fought for like to be free from colonization and all that, it's because of Tunku Abdul Rahman that we basically had a conclusion to the whole thing. Basically put an end and got Malaysia's independence through like peaceful negotiations with the British in 1957. So he also promoted national unity, and it's because of him that now we can live peacefully in harmony with each other.
Yeah, based on from your opinion that he's the most influential, he become a representative of the whole Malaysia. It makes me think, and actually that's the fact that he's like the best heroes national in freedom fighter categories. So I think that's all for our discussion. Thank you guys for cooperation.